Learn how to make a DIY leather tree ornament with faux leather, hot glue, and a foam cone. Please like this video and follow my channel. So the first thing you need to do is cut out all of your triangles from either leather or faux leather. I like to use faux leather because it's easy to find and it's inexpensive. This faux leather is actually from Cricut, but I also cut up purses and use that leather. So I'm just cutting a bunch of skinny triangles. They're about 1.5 inches tall and 1 inch wide at the bottom. Then I trace the bottom of the cone onto the back of the faux leather, so I'm drawing out a circle and cut out that circle. This is going to be hot glued to the bottom of the cone to cover up the white part at the bottom. So I'm putting a bunch of hot glue on the bottom of the cone, and then I'm placing my faux leather right on top. And that really won't be seen much, but you don't want any white peeking through. Then cut about a 6 to 8 inch piece of string or twine and glue it to the top of your cone, and this is how the ornament will hang. Don't worry about how it looks because it will get covered later. You just want it to be nice and secure at the top. Then you're going to hot glue your triangles onto your cone starting at the bottom, and I'm gluing mine, it's about 1/2 inch up from the bottom, and there is a lot of the triangle, the point that's hanging down, and you'll see what I do with it in a second. But first I'm just gluing those triangles on at the top, and this is so that you get it covered. Now with all of those pieces hanging down, I'm going to glue the point down and pull it straight down into the middle. And this is so that you get your corner of your cone, that bottom corner, you want it to be covered with no white showing through. So if your triangles are wide enough and long enough, you might not have to use the circle underneath, but I found that I needed both to cover up all of the white. I didn't want any white to peek through. Then you start with your next layer, and my next layer I did about 1 inch from the bottom, and I had it just barely the point hanging over the bottom of the cone. And I found that I had to overlap them about halfway to get all of the white covered. So now what you're going to do is use your triangles to slowly, you're going to glue them onto your cone to cover up all of the styrofoam. And I just did it row by row, added glue to the top of, or the bottom of the triangle, the short side of the triangle. That's where I added the hot glue, and then I would hot glue it onto the styrofoam, and I would overlap them a lot so that there was no white peeking through. So as I get farther up, you need less triangles for your tree, but it creates a very beautiful layered look as you're hot gluing all of those layers. I found that it looked the best instead of doing it right in an order so that it was all overlapped the same way. I found that the tree looked better if I would go around and just have my points touch. First I did where I had just my points touch, and then I went back over with triangles to cover up the white, and then the layered look it looked more random instead of uniform, which looks more like, you know, a Christmas tree that you find in a forest or in real life. As you get closer to the top, it gets a little tricky with the shape of the cone and the shape of your triangles. I found that I needed smaller triangles as I got closer to the point of the top of the cone, and so I kind of had to cut some new triangles to use that were a little, just slightly smaller to fit at the, you know, the top part where it's so skinny. At the very top, I did one triangle on one side, and then I did another triangle on the opposite side, and the top of the flat part of that triangle is right up against the thread at the top. I still had some gaps, so I added 2 more triangles. So essentially you need 4 triangles right at the point at the top of the ornament next to the string. To make it look finished and nice, just add a special touch. I used 3 wooden star buttons that went around the top of my tree right at the base of the string, and I really liked how this looked and how it added details. I liked the wood next to the shiny green leather, but you can use whatever you'd like. You can also add buttons all over the tree as ornaments. It's kind of up to you and what you like, but it makes a beautiful Christmas tree ornament that you can customize yourself, and it's easy because you're just hot gluing it onto some styrofoam. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day.